I'm down for whatever, but I never fall. Whenever I need my soldiers, they there when I call. I'm never scared when it's time to lay my life down. I need some warriors to stand with me right now. Forget about the hate, I gotta stick to the plan. I pray to God every day to be a better man. With all this pressure, I'ma need to hold my own. I don't wanna do nothing.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I'm Arthur J, and it's my co-host Tori.
Yes, sir.
And we back with another episode. Man, we got a lot that we want to cover, get into this, man. So we want to get into it right away. We want to thank y'all for joining us. And you see the title, Will Smith and Chris Rock, Nice Guys versus Good Man. You know, I want to get into it, Tori, man. It's been a lot. It's been a whole week of talking about this. We've been seeing a lot. You know, we're gonna touch on it briefly. I don't want to spend the whole episode talking about it, but it's something that we just couldn't let go, man. And it's been wild, bro. I want to start you right off, man.
Let's go.
But before we get into that, I want to get into this Kanye West and Kim Kardashian whole things that people been hearing.
They drama.
They drama and stuff like that, the ups and downs and stuff like that, man. And I wanna get your view on just his behavior and hearing about the what's the boyfriend name? Pete.
Yeah.
And
old Pete.
Yeah. And so how you feel about that, man, with the way Kanye and Pete been handling things, how they been going back and forth? How you feel about that?
First, I just think that if it's over, it's over. You know what I'm saying? Moving forward. You do have kids involved, you know what I'm saying? But that's on a different level. But when it's personal, like he's doing stuff like, I guess he bought the house next door to hers or something like that. Now you being petty, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I know he was mad about the a picture or something that Pete Davidson is his name, I'm not sure, sent him or whatnot. But he started going and attacking this man in songs and saying how he want to do this, do that. And then, you know what I'm saying, now that man fired back and hit you below the belt. You know what I'm saying? I was in love and war. You know what I'm saying? But I do think he's handling it very insecure, as an insecure male. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's better ways to handle these type of things, these situations, and he's failing at it.
Yeah, I feel you, man. You know, it's crazy. That's one of the things that I just been going back and forth in my mind because, I didn't want to feed into just the whole narrative of people saying, well, Pete shouldn't have said what he said as far as, that's why I'm in bed with your wife. Because, we was talking, you made a good point. You said, well, first of all, that's not his wife anymore,
Exactly.
And that's where people got to look at, that's where it changed at. And a lot of guys going to disagree with it. But it's like, man, listen, when your wife make a decision or your ex-wife make a decision, she have her own life now.
Yeah.
You have your own life. And as a man, I just don't like it because as a man, I never like seeing a man act like that. Like, listen, my dad always told me, never let your enemy know that they got next to you. And when I say enemy, I'm pretty sure Kanye don't look at Pete as his best friend. So that's why I'm saying enemy, because you letting Pete know, like, oh, I got him.
Yeah.
I got him. Get next to him. And that's what bring me into my next thing of asking you this. Being that Kanye is a billionaire, how do you feel about insecurities and people with money who are insecure?
Honestly, I feel like, I could be wrong, but in my opinion, I feel like Kanye is acting the same as he would act if he didn't have money. If he was an insecure person before the money, he's still going to probably be an insecure person without the money. So now he gets this, what people consider gorgeous woman or whatever, that he probably couldn't have got without the money. Now that the money is not even working anymore and she's still leaving, now he's finding himself, now I can't control you or you don't want to be with me, I'm a billionaire. Now he's just acting out the real him. You know what I'm saying? So, money just disguises or it enhances the person you already are anyways in the inside. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I feel about that. Now you can't control her because, you know what I'm saying, she still don't want you because whatever reasons, now the money not working, you probably wouldn't have got her without it.
Yeah.
Now your only thing to do is result back to the person you truly are.
And I think Kanye, he's so used to getting his way. If you watch him over the years, if you watch how he move and how he acts, he's so used to having yes men around him. He's so used to being able to control. And when people are used to having power and having money,
exactly,
it comes control. And he see that he no longer can control how he want her to move. Like her mind is made up. That's why it's so interesting that we stick in the pen, and insecurities, it comes no matter how much money you got. Because here it is, break it down, people, to all the viewers. You're a billionaire. You can have any woman you want.
That's a B.
Billionaire. Let that breathe. You can have any woman you want. You can have basically anything you want, but you cannot buy happiness.
Yeah, materialistic stuff.
Well, I don't know what you mean by that. You can't buy happiness. I find a way to buy stuff that's gonna make me happy. But look at Kanye. That's a prime example.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you still acting like that? And it's not to come down on him or to bash him, but just a question, and it's just a very strong point for people to think about. Why are you acting the way you act? Because I'm used to seeing guys who ain't got nothing act like that.
Yeah,
that's what I'm used to seeing. But it shows me and it teaches me that no matter how much money you have, it's gonna bring out how you already were before you got where you are.
You're the term. If you're a jerk without money, you're gonna be a bigger jerk with money.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is.
Change don't come about money. Change come about you with inside.
Yep.
And I heard DL, because I know him and DL real quick. Him and DL Hewley was going back and forth, and DL Hewley was just basically bringing it to life. Because I mean, bro.
And that's what he live off of. He's gonna joan you quick.
Yeah, like certain battles you don't want to go at it with people, but he was basically like, bro, you saying what we saying. You got all this money, but you can't buy happiness. You know what I mean? He had his own way of saying it, but it's like, and that's just a thing where I look at the situation of like, like you said, he opened the door for that guy to respond the way he responded. Because me personally, I know how I move. Like people be like, well, that's, you can't say how you feel. That's your, when it come down to wives and stuff, when it come down, which is we gonna get into it with the will thing, but when it come down to wives, but bro, you got to understand that when somebody has a choice, and especially when y'all have split, y'all have divorced, I'm not telling you not to be hurt. I never said that. I never say don't be hurt, because you can't control how you feel, but you can control how you move. And that's why I say leading to the next thing that we're going to, when we get into it, we got about 2 minutes. But I think with her having money already, he definitely can't control the narrative, and he can't control how she moves.
And it's just like everybody has the right to make whatever choice they make, but you do not have the right for the consequences behind the choice that you made.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I go rob a bank, I can't pit the consequences of me getting caught. And it's the same way. If I throw a stone at you, I can't expect you not to throw something back, a boulder at me or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right, man. And he just gotta, like, bro, move having a house or different things I was hearing about. He moving, like, it's crazy moving in the same neighborhood or across from her or something like that.
Next door, across the street.
Across the street, like, bro, come on, man. I'm not a stalker now, and I'm nowhere close to the money that you make. I'm definitely not gonna be a stalker because you being a billionaire, because you just in your feelings. Like, it's just so many different things where it's like, bro, be hurt, but move on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that again for the two people in the back that didn't hear me. Be hurt, but move on, because we all been hurt. We all, mess up, and we don't want to lose something, or you in love, this is your wife, this is the mother of your kids. I understand that, and it's just so confusing, man, because, I see him, saying what she's not allowing with the kids and stuff. I don't know what it is behind closed doors. I would say this, if he's right as far as her being petty, to not let him be around his kids, I would understand the anger in that because you know how I feel about that.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's just being Kanye and just doing too much, and it's really not like that, because I seen what she posted. She was like, you was just with your kids today. So it's all about who's wrong and who's right in the better way to handle things and everything like that. Because if
controlling the narrative,
yeah,
that's
if you
what it's
able to
coming
be,
down right
if
to
you
now.
doing the right thing, you able to be around your kids. There's nothing else to talk about. Y'all got to move on. You know what I'm saying? Kanye, you got to move on, brother, man. That ain't the way to hit it. We're going to get right into it, man. Here we are. The Will Smith and Chris Rock, man. I know everybody who clicked on this, they was waiting on us to get on this, man. I'm going to get right into it, man, because, you know, time be getting away from us. But I'm going to get into it, man. Was Will wrong for the slap?
Well, when you hit me up and we talked about it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, my opinion kind of swayed a little bit. At first, I was like, that's really some sucker stuff for me.
I feel
you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna explain it for this reason. He's not a sucker for defending his wife by any means. I have no right to tell someone how to defend their wife. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's just what it is. But my thing is, I call it the Birdman experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like Birdman went through all the thugs, Trick, Rick Ross, to go holler at Charlemagne about something that Charlemagne and everybody else said, but you don't want to go to the gangster guys who proclaiming to be gangster or what have you. You want to go to the radio personality. And that's my same spill on this Will situation. Everybody done said something about Will in August. I seen it and all those things like that. But you ain't go check them. Guess what you went and checked? You went and checked the comedian that you felt like wasn't going to fight back. Now, that was the sucker part that I felt. But I have no right to say how he should defend his wife, though. You know what I'm saying?
Man. And, you know, man, that's such a strong point, man, because just like I said, this whole week, we were just hearing things that people were saying online and offline. I go to the barbershop, just hearing people talking, just me kind of soaking all that stuff in. And I would say this before I really get into it. Everything changed once he slapped him. When I say everything changed, it's like that's why we here where we are talking about him the way we talking about him, and many people that's bashing him the way they bashing him because they looking at the physical part. And I agree with you when you say, you know, I don't want to tell no man how to defend his wife. I can just only go off of how I would do.
Yeah.
Me personally, my opinion, I would have, and I hate when people say, man, everybody say what they would do, but you don't know what you're doing, bro. Trust me, I know what I do going based off that situation, off of what I heard Chris Rock say. I know what I would have done in that situation, but just because I'm telling you what I would have done, it don't mean that I'm just killing Will Smith. I'm still gonna watch his movies.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still gonna support him.
Yeah,
because it's
not canceling Will Smith.
Yeah, it's a mistake that you know, a lot of us just have to learn from and realize that when you do something, learn from it.
Yeah.
You know, and so I would have handled it differently just based off of what I heard. You know, I kind of dissect the video and the clip and everything, and I observed that this man been holding a lot in.
Yeah.
And as a man, I can relate to Will Smith as being a guy that's not a thug, a guy that's you don't look at as a bad boy. You know, he even said it when he was on Breakfast Club, and he was like he was insecure about Tupac.
Yeah.
And he also was saying in his book how, you know, he felt like a coward all his life from what he saw his mom go through. So all that I start factoring in. And then you get to where we are now, where Chris Rock makes a G.I. Jane 2 joke, and then so happened to be Chris Rock that he explode on. And it taught me, bruh, in his life is two things. Address situations when you feel a certain way about things. Don't hold all this stuff in because it may come out the wrong way. And it also taught me something that my mom told me a long time ago when I was a little boy. She said, Arthur, in this life, when I be like, oh, no, but he said this in school. No, but he said this. No, but she said this. She said, Arthur, in this life, you're going to learn to ignore people. Ignore people. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not telling people what to ignore and what not to ignore. I'm just making a statement to just get people to think, because a lot of us gonna be in prison over stuff that we could have really handled in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
That's something to think about. A lot of us, because it's a time and a place for everything, and it's a tough. I just wish it would have never happened. I'm sure you feel the same way. I wish it would have never happened, because at the end of the day, we always talk about how we want brothers to stick together. We want black men to not, be bickering and arguing, and not to say that Chris Rock jumped back on him. They was both going back at it, but we just hate the situation happen, period. Yeah. And just Chris Rock got to be more mindful, because you too good, brother. You too good at what you do to not, sometimes you got to really do your research as an artist.
And that's what I wanted to say too. And besides it being that Will is, and it's just my opinion, besides him, I think sometimes we can take ridicule when it's pointed at us. We'll take it.
Right.
But I had to get a female's perspective on it. And that's when my views started to change. So my thing is, we don't know how many nights this man had to, his wife was in their room bawling her eyes out because of her situation or the disease that she has going on. So that might have struck a different chord than some of the other jokes. You know what I'm saying? Because if as me, to see your woman crying, your woman or wife, it don't matter, crying over some kind of insecurity or something that she's personally going through, and you only privileged to that insight, and what she probably feel, then he probably went off of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so we got to give him some credit. We don't know what many nights this woman done cried to her husband, and as a husband, you the protector, and that was something that caused pain. So.
Yeah.
Like I said, I had different emotions through this whole thing.
It's a tough one, man.
But
it's so tough, because that's why it was hard for me. And I can't criticize them. I can just say, I can just try to think of, okay, other ways that my wife know that I got you, but let me offer just what I just heard, and it's just me. Off of what I just heard. I got a way I'm gonna handle this, because but it's hard to criticize him, because it's like you say, when he got to go back home to his woman, and it's tough when I've never been married, but I know people other than yourself that's been married, and they say the same thing, man. It's different when you the first to see the hurt more than anybody to see.
Exactly.
So that's why I say. That should be people not saying this part. That's why it should be a lesson learned to Chris Rock. They looking at the fact that he the one got hit, and he the one, and it's Chris Rock. Because I'm gonna throw this in this real quick. I said, if it was somebody that we couldn't stand, and Will Smith did that to that, would we still have the same pity for Chris Rock if it wasn't Chris Rock? That's just something to let it breathe for a little bit. But that's besides the point. But it's just one of those situations that it's unfortunate, but you got to be more careful on and be more sensitive to what a person is going through. Because if it was something that she just shaved her head just to shave her head, then I'm pretty sure it would have been.
What she's going through has been out. She spoke about it. So
I'm sure he had to know that. Now, I didn't know that.
I didn't know either.
That's the weird thing about it. It's like, I asked myself, Arthur, how did you not know that? Because we know everything else being a podcaster, but I really didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
But people said it's not about your intentions, it's about your actions. You may didn't intended to do things, but it still happened.
Like I say, I don't have to. I can't decipher if you knew or didn't know. All I know is you said what you said. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what he's going on. But at the end of the day, no one wins. And like you were saying, man, we hate to see two brothers in an altercation, especially. I ain't gonna say just especially at an event like this, but we give our opposite race things to say. Look at them. We can't do nothing. You can't take them nowhere. You know what I'm saying? These two elite brothers in their own fields. You know what I'm saying? So no one wins in this situation. Yeah. I commend Chris Rock, but being a cat from the hood, I'm far removed from that. I probably wouldn't have. I ain't gonna say probably. I wouldn't have took it like that. We would have had. We would have had to strike out. We would have had to strike out that night.
And I ain't mad at anybody that's the part about it. Like,
but I got to commend that brother for being able to to keep his composure and move on with the show.
Yeah.
And one thing, and one gangster part about it, he's not pressing charges. Nobody don't want to talk about that.
Bruh.
They want to say, oh, you let somebody slap you, but the man ain't pressing no charges, so y'all
This the
already
part-
know what it is, man.
This the part that I would have felt bad on. Like, I wouldn't have felt bad on standing up for my wife, obviously. But I would have felt like, golly, he ain't even pressing charges. Like, he didn't hit. Like, you, like, let's real. Even if we say, Will, I understand for, and your wife going through what you're going through. But you human, I know you got to feel bad because he didn't retaliate. And most men, like we said, I'm a humble guy. I'm probably the most humble guy but a slap,
Bro,
I was raised in the church, but I don't know how, if I'm at that level, I can turn the other cheek.
I think
I'm
I'd
sorry.
rather you punch me. To be honest, just
I see what you're saying,
like,
but
dude, you slap open hands and slap like
any of that, boy, have me.
just
It's
remind me
up.
of what's that? High, whatever. Give him a powder and you just slap him. It's up. I'm taking you all the way
I gotta
through
look at
there.
myself in the mirror, man, because when you think that that you on a certain level of stuff, it's just certain things you
I'm
just
growing.
be like, bruh.
But my reaction off of that would have been different. So
man, and,
hey,
and it's definitely a learning thing, man, because we as people, we get put in certain situations, and how I feel once you in that person's shoes. Hopefully you never have to be in a person's shoes that go through certain things, but you don't know until you get in their shoes and stuff like that. Like, I've never been married, and I've never felt like I was being disrespected in a situation like that, and then on national TV too. So it's like, for Will Smith to do that, he had to really at that point not give a F.
We never know what might be the straw that breaks the camel's back. We never know when a person gets to that pushing point till they just tired of it. Cause we know this man been the butt of all jokes since this August Alsina crap came out. So I mean,
man, and see, people confuse nice guys versus good men. Let's get into that, man. How do you feel about that? Like, seeing situations in life where people feel like, because the image that they've always seen of somebody, a good man, that mean that they just gonna let everything slide. How do you feel about that?
I mean, the point in life is to be the best person you can be. Whether, you're a good person now, that don't mean I'm a pushover. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm good to you, don't mean you can push me over. You never know where people come from, all walks of life. Just because I'm nice to you don't mean I'm a pushover. You know what I'm saying? So please, y'all can't get it confused. Anybody has a breaking point. Any man has a respect level, or a woman has a respect level. I don't care how nice or it's most of the time the guys that be doing all the barking and ain't nice is the ones that be powder puffs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
I would say this, and I always say it: leave the good guys alone and non-confrontational people alone. You know what I'm saying? Because those are the ones that's really about that business. So don't get it confused. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, man. Like, I know how I feel to, be looked at as a man where, he's such a good man.
So nice.
And they confuse the thing where they can feel like they can say anything. I had to go through that in school, and even go through that being an adult, where I had to remove myself from certain people that probably was in the streets a little bit, and they feel like they can say certain things because you ain't from that. And I always, that's why when I heard the statement of nice guys versus good men, it resonated with me, because I'm like, that's real, man. You getting it confused of thinking that I'm just gonna allow you to just disrespect me.
Yep.
Any human being that have sense, that have confidence in themselves and have dignity, is not gonna sit there and just take disrespect.
Exactly.
That's why I work so hard to respect people and love people, because I want that same energy back. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that we all have to really factor in, is that a nice guy, in a good man, you see a lot of I'll give you examples real quick. A good man can be standing by his wife, standing by his woman, doing all the good things that he should do, and be a mean person to everybody else. Like he can snap because you said something that he didn't like, or you did something that he didn't like, but you looking at the image of, oh, he doing this good thing to his woman, but then you did something and then he just went off and went completely off on you because he felt disrespected or however he was felt, or maybe he just had a bad day and he probably shouldn't have handled things the way he handled it. But you know, now you're like, oh man, I thought he was a nice guy. No, he a good man because he do a lot of other good things, but that don't mean that he's, you know. And then some people can have both. Some people can be a nice guy and they're a good man, all factor into one. But people always confuse and just assume that every man is like that. Like then on the flip side of it, you can have a man that's a nice guy, but he doing so bad by his woman. I'll tell you what I mean by that real quick. This guy could be being so charming to a bunch of different women, but then when it come down to his wife, he not being loyal to it. Now he being nice and he's saying the nice things and he's having a nice attitude, but he doing some creep things. So that's why when you break down the two, it really make you think about that, man. But just real quick, man. How do you feel about really knowing the improvement, or I ask it like this: how important is it for us as men to not hold things in and just learn to deal with things and to be better? Real quick.
To be honest, I'm still learning that as we talk right now. I'm still learning that to let things go, or speak on it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm kind of stubborn in a lot of ways. Like I'm closed off. If I feel like you wronged me, I will shut you off. And I'm working on that. So I don't really have the answers to it, but I do acknowledge it. You know what I'm saying? That it's something that I need to work on. And that's all we can do, acknowledge some faults we have and try to, you know, absolutely try to work on being different and resolving things. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
you know.
man. You know, and in conclusion, man, we gon', you know, I'm gonna tell you this. We all as people and we all as men, we gotta learn that we need to be considerate of others. That's what I've learned from everything we was talking about. And you have to really focus on yourself of being better.
Yeah.
You know, our mission statement is to enlighten people with our opinion and hope that we can be better. We want to always relay that to y'all. With all the drama that we talk about, with all the entertainment that we're going to present to y'all, we want to always end on a note of knowing that at the end of the day, it's all about us being better. Get your money, take care of your family, you know, work to your success, and everything is gonna fall in place. Because it's so many of us that are wrapped in so much pain. There's so many of us that's wrapped into so much things that we've gone through, and we hold things in, and we never let it out in a way where it's gonna make us better. We let it out in a way that it's gonna lash out. And I know how I personally feel about it. I'm pretty sure you know how I personally feel, especially as men, because we talk not to cry. We say that all the time. We talk to, you know, hold things in and stop that crying and stuff like that. But there are some men out there, there are people around the world that's hurting. You have to learn self-control. You have to learn to find a way, whether it's to get help. We have episodes on that. And do whatever you got to do to not end up in a situation that you're going to regret for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? We want to leave y'all with that. We want to thank y'all for watching the podcast.
Yes, sir.
Arthur J and Tori TV. Like, subscribe, share. We got more on the way now. So I want y'all to really, you know, share, subscribe, like, let everybody know about our episode. You know, we just gonna give y'all the real. We're gonna continue giving y'all the real, man. And we love y'all. Till next time. Peace.
I hate the feeling that I get when I wanna quit. Keep my composure when a hater say something slick. Talking 100 when you don't keep it 50. I see the fake every time you hanging with me. You say you straight, but your actions showing different. That's right. Why should I